How many have heard of Napoleon Hill? Show of hands. Good. Now, there is a thing that he teaches, and Russell Brunson's big on this right now. He talks about definiteness of purpose versus the drifter. And I want to talk to you about some things. I think the biggest thing, if all you do is this, if all you do is take ownership, more ownership in your life, and see the triggers, these micro things that you're doing that are still in victimhood, and catch yourself, align, shift, go live your mission, you will become unstoppable. And I know it's the thing that's stopping you. I know it. I've coached thousands of people on this, and you will resist it. You're going to blame, you're going to shame. And I say these words, and you're like, oh yeah, I got it. But then in reality, it's happening still. So I want to bring some very specific examples to context. And I want us to slow down for a moment and really start to analytically and emotionally tune in and ask yourself, okay, is this me? How can I change? Definiteness of purpose. This type of person is unstoppable. What does this look like? I think back in my life, and I'm going to take some extreme cases. When I first signed up for a program, and I'm going to use money, I'm going to use relationships and other examples, okay? So look at this. If it doesn't apply to you, take ownership. This is the thing that I hope you can get. The biggest lesson that I looked at years ago was stepping in with definiteness of purpose and letting go of the drifter mentality, the mindset that things happen to me instead of for me. So a simple example, I got a text last night. I reached out to my brother a couple days ago, well, about a week and a half ago, and he's been having some struggles. Anyone have family struggle with drugs? So I reached out to him and I was like, hey man, I just had the thought, I was praying for you. I really want you to know I love you and I miss you. Because I've called him, he hasn't replied. Last year, he asked me for a loan to get somebody out of jail, and I didn't know him, and he was on drugs and stuff. It was like a $10,000 thing. So I was like, hey, we're going to need this written up. So if this is something, I need to know the details. I need to know this because we've had people steal from us. So he took it as, Tyler, you don't trust me. I'm your brother. And therefore, for the next year, didn't talk to me and had a lot of triggers. So this happened. And then I reached out to him. And I'm sharing this. Is it okay if I share something that's current, like right now? Yeah, because I want you guys to see this is real stuff. This isn't just philosophy for the sake of philosophy. What I'm teaching you, I try to live daily, and it needs to be applied daily if you want to see lasting results. So I reach out to him, and I was like, hey man, I love you. And then he's like, too bad you don't really mean that. And I was like, okay, like interesting. So there's some triggers here. There's some fight back. So when anybody is triggered, I know they're in this state. I could fight back with my own triggers and be sucky. Or I can treat them with a bigger vision of hope, knowing that they are suffering and they need help. So back to this. I'm like, hey man, just praying for you came. He's like, too bad you don't actually mean any of it. Sorry you feel that way. If you don't believe it, is there anything I could do or say to help? Or is that something that is way forever? Like, is that way forever for you? He's like, because of your actions. Any action I could do to make up for it, or any action specifically that caused this, if you're open to me changing, would love to do this for you. If not, I understand. So I'm making it about me, not him. It's like, hey, I can change. I want to change for you because I want to love you. I want to connect with you. I'm not using attacking words. And then he goes in, yeah, you care more about family than money. And yes, you took vulnerable information I gave you and myself, and you poked and you prodded. And despite, in fact, I literally only do things to help people. And you throw it in my face as an excuse not to help me. When I came to you in time of need, instead of just saying you didn't feel uncomfortable with it, you had to belittle me and use something that absolutely nothing to do with the situation as an excuse. I don't care that you didn't help me. I care about how you went about it. You manipulated me and you turned against me and used it against me. So some pretty harsh things. I was like, wow. So then I was a little curious. Is that when you asked to borrow money from me to help bail someone out? Or are you referring to something else? I'm sorry for belittling you and turning information against you. Both of things which I had no idea, but it's his reality. If you don't acknowledge someone's reality, you're fighting it. You must meet them where they're at because it's real for him. He could say, Tyler, you totally like killed my cat. And I'd be like, oh, holy crap. Like, what experience did he go through that is real for him to feel that way? Instead of saying, I never killed your cat. I don't even know you had a cat, which is defensive, triggers the person more. Now you're both drowning. Yes, that's what I'm referring to. And when the reason is because of my past drug history. You didn't believe I would pay you back. Pretty shitty feeling coming from the person who looked up to growing up. I'm going to use some curse words because he uses them. I don't curse, but I'm going to use these to prove a point to help you guys see that this is real stuff. And you go through real life. Is that cool? Can I just be raw today? You guys okay with that? Okay. I'm sorry it came across this way. I know you'll pay me back. We just have certain ways we handle our money, which one is no matter who borrows from us, including family, we need it written out as we do a ton of stuff with multiple businesses and taxes. And tracking, wanted the whole written explanation, and then we would get it to you. I didn't mean to come across that way. I didn't trust you. It's just a system we have in place for finance. And because it's through the business, we don't have it traced and we can get fined and stupid things can happen. He's like, that wasn't your reason. I remember what you said to me, and it clearly, because it cut me very deep and hurt me a lot. It is something I won't ever forget. And only for reason of absolute betrayal I felt. Not because I'm mad you didn't help me. I could care less. It worked out fine. But the fact that you went about it the way that you did. Right? So another attack. He feels threatened. He's hurt. This is his reality. And the whole point of all of this, I don't want to be right or wrong. I want to love him. That's the point. I'm sorry, I really am. I didn't mean it to come across that way. If I did that, it was wrong of me. It was probably a mix of me needing details because I've been hurt in the past by not getting details and other pieces as well. I did not communicate effectively, and I am sorry. I did not mean to cause you so much pain. I truly do love you and I miss you. And if there's anything I can do to help you or serve you or make it up, I would like that. So then he goes, I forgive you. I forgave you a long time ago, but it doesn't make it hurt less. Whether you like it or not, you were my idol growing up. I feel like you were taken away from me. I confided in things. I have a rough time. Was having the roughest time throughout my life. I've had the roughest time to date for the past 5 months. I've been living in a vehicle for most of it. About to lose my grandma. Probably have been nice to have you. I was in a mental hospital for 4 days because I was suicidal. But I'm sure I have my own lesson to learn. So therefore, I shouldn't get up any help from anybody to make sure I get whatever lesson I'm supposed to get. So some victimhood going on, right? So I know he's drowning. He's in this. Some manipulation words. So I said, maybe the lesson is that it's okay to get help. And even if someone messes up, that they still love you and believe in you and want to support you. You don't have to go through it alone. I know it can be hard and I truly want to help support you. I'm sorry you've had to go through this stuff. I'd love to talk with you sometime if you want to, even just to talk. So then he goes on, talks about, yeah, I'd be fine with that. You know, there's quite a bit more situations that are just stereotype situations. And for example, drugs are an enhancement of what's already out there. If you're a good person, you get better. If you're a piece of shit, you're going to be a bigger piece of shit. Drugs don't change people and they make it easier. And he continues and he's like, Jesus walked with prostitutes and drunks and people making bad choices. Remember that. Then, randomly, will you give me a loan now? And I said, I'm open to a conversation about it for sure. Okay, can you loan me $250? Let's chat tomorrow or Thursday about it. Then, I guess you missed the point. I've been living in a vehicle. I'm good on it, dude. I don't want your money or help. I don't need to hear about some lesson you think I need to hear or whatever else. You scratch your ass, probably find a grant. And that thing blows my mind is that you have the ability to end the financial struggles of your family for years. Take that stress away. But you think that for some reason, everybody needs to stay poor and struggling because they need to learn something or they wouldn't be able to handle it or fall back into some sort of habit. But you know what? Sometimes when you take all that stress off a person, let's say dad, for example, you might find that some people are just a completely different person. They're just waiting for a break. You keep your nose in the clouds, keep looking down at us. I don't know why I was thinking that telling me how much of a dick you were, you would make a difference. You ain't going to change. You only care about money. And it sure has fucking changed you. I don't know who you are. So then I was just curious. I was like, wow, what's gotten into you? You have, Tyler, you have. I thought you wanted to talk about it. This is a very interesting response. You would think you would read half of that shit I sent you. Being a brother, you would want to help. I mean, I would. I just got done working. So this was me. I just got done working. Would love to talk about it if that's what you want. Are you feeling threatened by talking? No, I'm feeling more discouraged by the lack of care and empathy. If I read a message where a sibling was even questioning being suicidal, I'd drop everything to make sure they were okay. And it's like you didn't even read that part. So, which one? Yeah, here. I've been running a 3-day event, 6 kids, 9 conversations for business today, and 6 tomorrow. If you really want to talk, I'd love to. Then he says, well, I'm sorry you got so much on your plate. Then, sorry I didn't respond how you wanted. If you want to push help and love away, that's your choice. I'm telling you right now that I'm here for you, and I would love to talk. It's up to you, though, to push that away and choose to get triggered or to talk about it. I have time tomorrow before my event at 8 a.m. or afterwards at 3:30 p.m. I'm not triggered, dude. You completely missed it. But don't try to shift this shit on me. Act like the ball's in my court. I put it in yours. So I just said, I just wanted to talk because I miss you. Not sure what you wanted me to say via text. I don't know what I want to say either. I miss my brother. I miss the person who used to check on me because they cared. That's what I'm attempting to do. Not sure how to do it differently. I've called you many times before with no answer. And that's why I reached out. I felt like you could use some support. Then at the end, I know and know I could. So, how many have experienced situations like this where it goes a little crazy? I want you to know, if you can work through your stuff, see people not as where they are, but as they are going to be. I know my brother is a powerful human being. He's incredible. I love him so much. I love all my family members. But I also know how to help. And I know you can give a fish to a man or you can teach him to fish. And we all have our rock bottoms. Some of us are so stubborn, we will go through experience after experience after experience, pushing away the very thing we want. He wants love and support. If it's given, I know the allergy is going to push it away as much as possible. Hence, why he sent me all this. Because it's true love coming, he's testing it. Saying, hey, I got to push this away. In your life right now, you're having things happening, and you have to choose which one you're going to react to. Make sense? Is this helpful? I feel like this happened for a reason. I needed to share this. Is this helping anybody here see some realness to this stuff? Okay. So I worked on myself through this. I went and I did an alignment this morning, and I tapped it out, and I said, even though part of me doesn't understand the situation, and I know he's suffering, and part of me really wants to just swoop in and save him, I forgive myself and can trust him and know that he will figure it out, and I can be there for him no matter what. And then I aligned. You work on yourselves. Notice how every word, every reaction can be a different piece. So my goal for you is to get you where 95% of the time, or 90% of the time, or even 80% of the time, or 70, even 60% of the time would be nice for some of you, to choose this 60% of your day. Most of you are here 85 to 95% of the day in a triggered, constant victimization. And it's exhausting. It sucks. What's the word? Sucks. Just like the stop starts with an S, it sucks. So, everything is going to happen. Resistance is inevitable. The more resistance towards something shows me, the more that I need to step into this. Why else would the resistance be there? Let me ask this. If resistance comes and you use it as a sign to say this must not be a good thing, which one do you think is doing that from? S. What if you find resistance and you say, cool, this is going to grow me and scale me and help me become even better? Which one? So Rochelle says could be both. Both. So yeah, let me break this down. It's how you feel about it. The resistance should empower. If it is, sometimes God puts barriers there to say, hey, this is not the path. But if that's the case, then it should always empower you. Always feel like a phenomenal thing. Should never feel like a drop. It should feel like, sweet, this is helping me step into my better self because of the resistance. So it's how you handle resistance is the key. Hey, what's up? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to learn more about what you just experienced or watched, then in the description, I actually have written a book called The Alignment Effect. And in the book, we go in details of how to align and the power inside of you. So if you'd like to learn how to get results a lot faster and reprogram not just your mind, but your cellular memory, then check out the description and grab that book called Alignment Effect. It will completely alter how you think and live your life. Was it me? No, it was each and every one of you. So we all chose to do that. No one forced you. No one made you. You chose, which is freaking awesome.